How to know exactly when to close. When you're making a recommendation to a prospect, you want to be aware of their reaction to your presentation. Do you see any buying signals? What is their body language and the questions they're asking you telling you? One way to determine where they are in relation to moving forward with your recommendation is to test the waters by asking them a trial close question such as, how does that sound? A trial close is designed to assess their readiness to move forward with your recommendation without feeling pressured. Typically, prospects will respond in one of three ways. Number one, they're ready to move forward, or they're not ready to move forward, or they have concerns about moving forward. These three responses are like when you approach a traffic light. Green means ready to move forward, red is not ready, and yellow is proceed with caution. So let's assume you just made a recommendation and asked the prospect a trial close question, how does that sound? The prospect says, that sounds great, what's the next step? Which indicates they're ready to move forward, the light's green. You will then present the next step in the process by saying something like, let's put the next meeting on the calendar. Now, let's assume you've just made a recommendation. You ask the prospect a trial close question, how does that sound? And they indicate they are not ready to move forward. The light's red. You will ask questions and attempt to uncover the reason for their reluctance. Once you understand the reason, you will address their concerns and then ask another trial close question. If they indicate they are ready to move forward, you will set the next steps. It could sound something like this. So Clyde, how does that sound? Well, Steve, I don't think I'm ready to move forward yet. Well, Clyde, tell me more. What are your concerns? The prospect ideally will respond with their concerns about taking the next step. You will address their concerns, then ask another trial close question to test the waters on the prospect's reaction to your response. It might sound something like this. Well, how do you feel about taking the next step right now, Clyde? I feel more comfortable now. You answered all my questions. Great. Let me send you an amended proposal and we'll get a start date for the project. So let's discuss what to do when the light is yellow. A yellow light may be because their response is unclear or subtle, or you do not have a clear read on their reaction. In this case, you will ask them a progressive trial close question to better gauge their level of interest in moving forward. When the light is yellow, your response could sound something like this. How does that sound? Well, Steve, it sounds okay. Well, Clyde, does the recommendation make sense to you? Well, it does, but I have some more questions. Okay, Clyde, let's talk about the questions. And then this is where the prospect responds, and you answer their questions, and then ask another trial close questions. So, Clyde, how do you feel about moving forward now? I feel more comfortable now. You answered all my questions. Great. Let's discuss the next steps. In summary, test the waters after making a recommendation. You can use a trial close questions like, how does that sound? The prospect's response will be like a traffic signal. Green, they're ready to move forward. Red, they're not. And yellow is proceed with caution. Based on their response, you will know how to proceed. In your recommendation meetings, be on the lookout for buying signals and use trial close questions to help you determine the right moment to close the sale or set the next step with the prospect. The time is now.